Welcome to 2 on the 10.
Oh, we back 2 on the 10, baby.
Yes, sir.
I'm Paul.
I'm Mitch.
Greedy.
Oh, another week, and we got a big one.
Yeah.
It's getting hot in here, so burn out. Oh, no, that's too soon. Too soon.
Man.
Too soon. But we'll talk about it. Shit's burning, baby. Burn, baby, burn. Just go with fire, burn. I'm an insensitive asshole.
Don't quit your day job. Just to say that. Oh wait, you ain't got one.
It's all good. The roof is off. Okay, I'm done. All right, here we go. How was your weekend?
Mine was cool. Yeah. I'll just get into mine real quick because I know we got a lot of stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
Typical, just hit a couple spots, relax, smoke some cigars, especially with this weather. Patio weather is what I like to call it.
It's cold in the motherfucker now.
Yeah, no, definitely. I still had one of my, I know you this.
The God of Fire.
God of Fires.
Woo,
Yeah,
I was like, where you get that from?
Yeah, exactly. Because people that know in the cigar scene, God of Fires don't just sit,
Yeah, exactly. I was like,
Most don't even have them.
Yeah, exactly. That was the thing. I used to go to Fox all the time. He used to have those motherfuckers on the shelf all the time.
Now he doesn't.
Now he doesn't have them. Like,
It's crazy.
it's a hard cigar. It's probably my favorite cigar to smoke. It's smooth in all the right ways. It's a medium body cigar that just smokes so perfect. You know what I'm saying?
Not a death.
That's what I'm saying. But
Good experience. I had one for New Year's, and then what's it called? And then I had one. I had one left over in the tins. And the other thing is they have them in the tins to preserve them, so that worked. So I had a couple cigars.
so is it a location that does have them?
Yeah,
that you got it from?
there's actually, it's terrible because I don't even remember the name of the spot, but there's a spot on in Scottsdale, but in like South Scottsdale.
It's South Scottsdale.
Yeah, it's basically like right west on Thomas Road. Right. It's actually almost looks like the little houses that are businesses on Thomas Road.
Yeah.
Right off of Scottsdale Road, heading west. That's over there.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. But they have them on deck.
Really?
They have boxes, and they had individual ones. Yeah.
Oh shit! I'm over there.
So yeah,
pick one up.
So yeah, if you ever get a chance, smoke a God of Fire. Now keep in mind, it's for one stick, it's about 30 bucks.
It's gone up. It used to be $23
Yeah.
a stick. Now it's 30. But the shit is so fun.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a good. If you like cigars, man, definitely worth checking out. But yeah, so smoked cigars, relaxed. Pretty much again kept it local. The last 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then actually on Saturday morning had reservations to a spot in North Scottsdale. Man, you got to check it out. It's called a Sugar Jam.
Okay.
And,
I've heard about Sugar Jam.
Yeah,
It's
it's
pretty dope.
my boy. Actually, shout out to my boy Fresh Maker. He's the DJ and host over there, and it's pretty cool. It's like a Southern cuisine kitchen again.
Okay.
Another one of those, but this one is special, man. I'll tell you, some of the best food I've had. Probably the best French toast I've ever had. They have these French toast sticks, strawberry shortcake cheesecake, something like that. French toast sticks.
Got you.
And if I'm going to consider that French toast because they give you like 5 little big slices of the sticks.
Right.
And man, best French toast I've had. It was like $14 for that, but definitely worth it. And then I had for brunch, I had the grits. Ready for this? I had fried lobster tail.
Oh shit.
Fried lobster tail, crab balls, and shrimp with grits.
That's crazy, man.
Insane. And then Chris had the salmon croquets.
Okay.
I don't even like salmon that much anymore. Those were phenomenal. They're like almost a better crab cake in my opinion.
Really?
Yeah, and that was phenomenal. And their chicken wings. They have fried chicken wings. Those were money, especially with like the little side sauce. They have like a peach hot and sweet sauce. Yeah, the place is phenomenal, man. Definitely got to check it out. And here's the crazy thing. So my boy, does the entertainment there. I can't believe they got entertainment Friday, Saturday, and Sunday day.
Okay, got
So they're only open Wednesday through Sunday, 9 to 3. And Friday, they have a DJ Saturday and Sunday. And the DJ, I think, starts at like either 10 or 11 and goes to 2.
Okay.
So we got there. I got reservations. I've tried before. They're usually booked. You have to usually do it a week in advance.
Okay.
But I was somehow able to get 11 o'clock on a Saturday, so we took it, got there, And then by the time we left, there was like a line outside, people waiting.
Okay.
You know, it's definitely, but it's a good vibe. Definitely, you got some good music. You know, hip hop, R&B, some throwbacks, and good vibe. Amazing food, some of the best food. Definitely, right now, man. Like Chris is already talking about, I want to go back. Let's go back. This might be my favorite place. You know.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say the same thing. It's definitely I say it a lot, but man, it's jumped into my top 5 of food spots the first time I've been there. I have to, obviously, it's got to hold that position, bring it back.
Okay.
But out of any place that's out there, it's in my top 5 right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck, that's saying a lot.
Yeah, it's special, man. So definitely check that out.
What about the breakfast spot in
Okay, so
Mesa Chandler you went to?
I'll tell you what,
Similar-
we were saying that. Here's what Chris said, okay, and I'm not knocking it. She goes, yeah, forget that other place, right? I still think that other place is amazing. I have to go back to there. This one had as good of food or better,
Okay.
in my opinion. I mean, it's close. It's very close. They're both good, but it had also the fluff.
Yeah, yeah.
So-
So it was the environment. It was
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, so you had the environment, you had the music, you had the place to be.
It was kind of like Hash Kitchen when it first came out.
yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, because Hash was fire when it first came out, and that just fell off. So
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, that was about it. Though. I mean, you know, good week, great food spot, and yeah. So
that's dope. That's dope. Grady,
Yeah.
give me a weekend, bro.
My weekend was cool. Friday night, I met up with Mitch at the Moose. Brought my boy Chuck over there to check it out. He's never been, so we went in there and hung out with Mitch. And believe it or not, and I'm gonna talk about this because it's crazy for me to even be saying this. The chef whipped up some bomb ass lasagna.
I forgot about that.
Really?
It was amazing.
I'm sitting there and Mitch is like, man, they got lasagna tonight. I'm like, lasagna
Moose
from
Lodge.
the Moose Lodge? I'm like, come on, I'm Italian, bro. I got homemade lasagna. Make my own lasagna. Man, I saw a slice of that thing come out. It was like a big giant square, looked like a brick on the plate. And I was hungry because I hadn't ate dinner. I was like, damn, that kind of looks good. So then the waitress came over and she's like, Mitch, someone ordered it and didn't want it. Do you want it? And Mitch is like, sure. So Mitch starts, and I'm looking over at it. I'm like, damn, that phone looks good. So I was like, the way she came by, I was like, hey, can I order one of those lasagnas? She's like, yeah. Man, they brought that thing out. It was just really simple, just good tasting lasagna. It had like a sausage in it and cheese and just a decent, like a light sauce. It wasn't like super saucy. It was good. I was thoroughly impressed. It reminded me of like a homemade lasagna that
Really?
yeah, that like
Holy
a family
shit,
member
the
would make.
Moose.
I'll go one step further. Okay, let's put it this way. We could call this place out because it's mom and pops. Do you think it's better than Buca de Peppos?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it's better than any like.
I'm not a big fan of Buca de
It's
Peppos.
better than that. It's
Garden.
Olive Garden. It's better than any like chain restaurant lasagna. It was a good homemade lasagna.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
And it came out of the Moose, and so I mashed that thing. And I originally I was like, someone want to split it with me? I'm
Now,
not.
was it because you were hungry?
No, because I wasn't. When I ordered, I'm like, someone want to split it with me? I'm not going to finish the whole thing.
Right.
And then I started eating, and then the whole thing was gone. And I was like, well, I guess no one else is having any.
Yeah.
Because I mashed
I
it.
forgot about that. That was
Yeah.
good. Surprisingly good.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Look at the Moose dropping little nuggets out there.
So yeah, then we just hung out there, had some drinks. It was a good little time. And then Saturday, got up and really didn't do much on Saturday. Met up with Paul on Saturday night. Went to this little hookah lounge here in Chandler and smoked some hookah. I will have to say we did have a little incident after the hookah bar. Someone didn't
Shit their pants.
Someone didn't know how to handle their hookah.
It was
And
definitely wasn't me.
I'm just gonna say someone got a little lightheaded to the point that they may or may not have went pukey. Oh, we might have a creeper in the studio today. But I'm not gonna mention any names to protect the guilty and the guilty. But yeah, someone hookah's not something you can play around with. It's just you think you're just puffing on a little bit of smoke, but
Well, you can't hit it hard.
Man,
you
hit
can't
that
hit
to
it
the
you can't hit it back to back to back to back.
you hit that to the dome and you can get lightheaded real quick and dizzy. And there's been a couple times back in the day I walked out of there and I was like, man, I feel lightheaded. I'm dizzy.
Sounds like a bad ride at a cheap fair.
Like almost like you're drunk, but you're not.
But I love hookah just because it gives you that quick buzz.
You guys get the strawberry one or something?
We did a couple mix. I did a berry mint. So I had like strawberry, blueberry, mint.
Yeah, I had the white gummy bear.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So then after that, we went over to after we had a little pit stop on the side of the road. We went over to Spirit House in downtown Chandler, which is actually an underrated, cool little just spot to grab a drink
Yeah,
at.
yeah.
And the drinks for being like specialty cocktails, like 10, 12 bucks a piece isn't bad. Like a lot of places you go, you get that specialty cocktail, they want 18, 20 bucks for it. This place, they mix all up and they have all the fresh ingredients and they're
Yep.
pouring all these little bottles everywhere. Mixing up
And
your
if you
drink.
go there, if you order this one drink, they have a bounty hunter from the Star Wars.
I was just gonna say Boba Fett. No.
Yeah, Boba Fett. Yeah. A mask that they wear while they doing it. So it's pretty legit.
And they have a really good espresso martini. It's up there. It's one of the better ones in town. Not the best, but it's one of the better ones. And then they also have a drink. It's a orange creamsicle that's like foamy on the top. It's delicious. So so definitely if you're in downtown Chandler, it's actually owned by the same people that own the
Brickyard.
Yeah, no, not the Brickyard. They share the kitchen with the brewery.
Oh, Santan Brewery. Yeah.
So you just go Santan Brewery, go around the corner straight back, and it's right at the back of the brewery on the left hand side.
That is true.
Is that the old spot we used to go to? Remember? It's over by the courthouse.
No, this is
No.
It's connected to Santan.
Oh, got
They
it.
share a
Okay.
kitchen, and
Gotcha.
you can order Santan food
Yep.
at the.
Okay.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. No, it's on the other side.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. But coincidentally enough, they are building just a few streets up. They're building a new spot. It's supposed to be a new little eatery hangout spot. It's going in the back over there.
Okay.
I don't know how it's going to do just because it's in the back.
hidden, yeah.
Yeah, it's hidden. So I don't think ideally it's a spot. And, Chandler's really weird. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
They do go to like little hole-in-one spots, but a spot like they're trying to do, because it kind of reminds me of like a culinary dropout feel, but the one in Tempe, or Zen Burger, that kind of feel to it. But it's in the back, and so I don't know how it's going to do. I'm definitely going to check it out, but I don't know how it's going to do just because it's in the back, and the parking's fucking terrible back there. So I don't know. It's going to be one of those things. But listen, I like what Chandler's doing. They're kind of trying to clean up downtown Chandler a lot and kind of push the riffraff, a little bit farther out, stuff like that. So, and they got a lot of money in this area. You know what I'm saying? It is 85248 is the richest zip code per capita, richer than fucking Paradise Valley or Scottsdale.
Wow.
I have a sneaky suspicion it has to do with all this fucking Intel money out down here and stuff like that. So, but they do some things well. I just think only thing that they're not doing is they're trying to make it Scottsdale, and they're trying to charge Scottsdale prices. And what I've learned about Chandler is they like nice things, but they ain't gonna fucking pay up the nose for them. I can tell you that. It's just what they're not going to do. Even a nice dinner, they may have it once or twice, but they're not going to be coming. You're not going to have fucking regulars there every night.
Can we say there's a reason why there's no rollout shop in Chandler Fashion?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that it's a reason why, because they don't drop. They got the money, but they don't drop it like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's Scottsdale when you want to go flash and shit and all that stuff. But anyway, that being said,
How was your weekend?
my weekend was pretty light, man. Like I said, I just been chilling because it's end of this month. His birthday's is coming up here. Fucking my birthday's coming up here. You got waste management that's coming up. So it gets really fucking hectic within 3 weeks.
Hey, waste management's gonna be crazy this year because they limit the amount of people that they're letting in on Friday and Saturday night.
Really.
Yeah, and they jumped the general admission tickets like $125.
Oh, so everything's jumped up.
So they jumped the prices on everything and then limit the number of
They've
people.
been saying limit for a while though.
Yeah, but this year
Yeah, this year, because last year was fucking.
last year was a shit.
It was a shit show. So yeah.
So they're limiting like I think like if you don't already have tickets, you may be SOL.
I don't think so, man. Because here's the thing: is I've like last year I ordered tickets. You just go online. I mean, now you're gonna pay out the fucking nose for
Yeah,
them.
I mean you can order them through a third party.
Yeah, third party. Yeah, but you can't. I mean, you could never fucking get, because the reason why they were always having the greenkeeper passes and all that shit is you had to order passes, and I mean you had to order packages. You had to spend fucking umpteen amount of money for a whole fucking week. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But we always go out there. Only thing it's shitty about Waste Management is they keep pushing it back. You know what I'm saying? It used to be, I used to love it because I used to be able to celebrate my birthday right on it. But they pushed it back now. I mean, fuck, we're looking into February and shit. And actually, like the weather's really good around my birthday, and then like a week after or so, it dips down for a couple more weeks till shit, and then it warms back up. But no, figure that shit out. Plus, we got Barrett Jackson coming. Like I said, it gets in January. It gets real hectic. Yeah, it gets real hectic here. So,
Well, it looks like Friday and Saturday are still available. After fees, they're almost $150 a ticket.
really,
Yeah.
just
General admission.
just GAs,
Just to walk in the door.
just GAs. Goodness
So
gracious.
imagine what that's going to do for like the greenskeeper and other passes.
Oh shit! I mean,
If you have to spend $150 to get in the door, and then you're going to go to a place that has food and drink,
yeah. I mean, you look at Greenkeeper passes probably going to be somewhere if you don't know anybody. I would say probably about $400 a piece. I would think.
I would think at least, right?
Yeah, I'd say 6 to 8 probably this year,
So
just because it's going to be a limited supply. And like if you're already going to spend $150 just to get in the door, you might as well spend a couple extra $100 and get all your food and drink. Because trying to wait in line at the general admission like bars and stuff, you might wait an hour just to get a drink and spend $25 on a drink.
yeah, here's my thing: is I wonder. I don't want to be up there telling the secrets, but once you get in the fucking Greenkeepers and all these other places, you don't. They're supposed to stamp you. You're supposed to get 10 drinks for. But if you tip the bartender rather well, they don't fucking stamp you.
Sometimes they miss it. Sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
What
They've actually been, especially on the weekends,
They're
more
strict.
strict.
Yeah.
On the scanning the things.
Well, I think this year, I think they're gonna make an emphasis on no matter what, they're gonna fucking clip people's, no matter how much you tip. So
Even 10 drinks, you're talking, if you go up to the bar, they're $20-25 a piece. So
Yep.
10 drink, that's $250-300 plus meal all day food.
Yep.
I mean, you're probably saving another $150 on food. So and then the general admission, I mean, if the ticket's $500, it pays for itself.
yeah.
So it's just going to come down to how crazy do people get that want to get in there, and they're like, well, the difference, we might as well bump up. So I think people will realize that and try to get those passes, and I think it's going to drive those prices up too.
Right. You guys going this year?
I think I might. I didn't go last year for the first time.
Really? You didn't go last
Yeah,
year?
yeah. I was actually just getting over being sick, and I wasn't really feeling it. And so I kind of sat that one out. So I think I got to make up for it this year.
Gotcha.
What about you guys?
You mean that? I always go. I like my favorite day actually, believe it or not, is Wednesday.
Yeah. No,
I love the Pro-Am day.
Yeah.
I actually like the Pro-Am day because it's not as crazy. You get the experience, but it's not as crazy. You know what I'm saying?
No, I will not go on Friday or Saturday ever again.
Yeah. Friday, Saturday is fucking straight up shit show.
That's like going to Disneyland.
My brother likes to go on Friday and Saturday, and my uncle, they always go. But they walk like deep into they get way because really all the craziness is on like 4 holes or 5 holes.
Yeah.
So they walk in and they're like, you can go sit and there's nobody out there and you can watch golf.
They go out there to watch golf.
Yeah, they go out there to watch the golf. And then walking in and out and hanging out, they still get to see the craziness and people watch, but they get out of that and get back into the golf course. It just depends what you're there for. I've been there. How many years have we been there? Probably
10 in a row.
Been going, I've been going at least 15 because I was going back in the ticket days with Will, where I remember one year I had every single pass. I had like 12 passes on me, and I could get into every single booth everywhere. People were just looking at me crazy, and
That's every day.
yeah, and I've actually even had like the chairman's pass at one
really?
point where that you can like get back in. I've been in the clubhouse, seeing the players like coming in after the rounds and stuff.
Oh shit.
Like back.
You asked
where
for
the players
autographs?
go. Nah, I didn't. But so I've been going for a long time, and I'm just like, all the years I've been going, I've maybe seen 30 shots.
Yeah.
Golf.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, if you go on,
Definitely seen more shots than shots of golf.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
That's
if you go Thursday, Friday, Saturday, like I said, you ain't going there for the golf. I can tell you that. That's why I go on Wednesday, because you get to see like celebs and stuff like that, and it's not as busy. You get the same experience. I think it's actually a little bit better because it's not so much fucking bumping into people. It's not as much of a madhouse as it normally is.
And then the people that show up on Wednesday, they're dedicated to their drink,
yeah.
It's not like that the Friday, Saturday partiers. The people that are showing up on Wednesday and drinking all day, they're dedicated.
We're going there. I'll probably go on a Thursday just because we have little man all the way until Wednesday. So I'll probably end up going on Thursday this year when we go down. I think we went last year. My girl had an amazing time. So
Maybe just go Wednesday and Thursday,
well, if I get, here's the thing is, you always run into people who are like, hey man, I got a couple extra tickets. You want to go? And then fuck, it's hard to turn down fucking free tickets. You know what I'm saying? So.
Well, you run into those people, you let me know.
You just got no folks. But anyway, let's get into the show, man. I alluded to that at the end. Things are burning. LA right now is burning right now. Not central LA, but out Santa Monica, Malibu,
Pacific Palisades.
Palisades, and you talking about the Hollywood Hills are now starting to catch fire a little bit.
Yeah.
First of all, can I just say real quick, all jokes aside and everything else, man, thoughts and prayers. And I know that's so simple to say, but really, it's about the energy you give when you say it, and your meaning behind it. But literally, seriously, thoughts and prayers out to everybody affected, people that lost their lives, people that lives are never going to be the same.
Yeah, definitely. And so a lot of celebrity homes are being burned up. A lot of regular people's homes been burned up. We were talking about this back in the green room, how some insurance companies weren't even giving out fire insurance
Like
because
pulling it 6 months ago. 4 months ago.
for the simple fact that these homes were older or they couldn't afford it because these people may have bought it back in the 50s, 60s, and stuff like that. Have had these homes forever.
Well, I did hear a case where someone had to continue with made the choice to pay each month for, like, each company's different, and I don't want to put I know some I want to say State Farm started pulling out of California years ago. Remember the last couple fires? Right. I guess what I had heard is 4 months ago, another company or two stopped insuring houses on fires.
Yep.
Out there, and so there's nothing they could do. I saw one of the actors, was it something James? I can't think of his name right now, but he made a tweet. Talking about, a lot of us don't have insurance or whatever on our homes. And then I heard on some other people that were allowed to get insurance, like one lady, just a regular person but obviously you got to be able to afford the lifestyle out there. Mm-hmm. She pays $8,000 a month for her insurance.
$8,000
a month for her insurance. Fuck. Yes.
Damn, bro. That's a fucking on top of her house payment.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is that California, within the last 10 years, has
Went
really,
shit?
yeah. Well, they've stopped clearing the brush in these, these basically hilly, lush areas, and the brush dies out over the summertime and gets brittle and dry. And they don't clear it out, and then it grows, but they're always, it's like tinder on the ground. So
Yelling Tinder.
yeah, so they're yelling timber, by the way, but that's a different story. So they haven't been clearing it out, and they just haven't been doing the upkeep on just like the surrounding areas. And I mean, yeah, I saw on Joe Rogan's podcast 6 months ago, he even said,
Who's that?
he was talking to someone. And they said that it's shocking that LA hasn't burned down yet. They said that the way that the upkeep hasn't been taken care of, and the winds that they get, they said if a fire breaks out and they have those heavy winds that they can sometimes get, it'd be like the perfect storm, and that's what we're seeing now. They had 80 to 100 mile an hour winds with these, the fire. So you start a fire and then you get 80 to 100 mile an hour winds. They were saying it was burning at a rate of 3 football fields a minute.
3 football fields a minute.
So that's how fast the fire was spreading throughout this thing. So
holy shit.
You got to think about it, because if you've ever been on Malibu in the hills,
Yep.
they're all covered with just foliage and brush. And man, if that stuff dries out and lights on fire, that stuff just
It's
goes.
the perfect narrative.
Right.
Yes.
For
But how far, I know you showed the map earlier, but how far from Santa Monica Pier on south?
It from what I hear, just south of where Duke's was in Malibu,
Yeah.
all the way down the PCH burned up.
Really?
It hasn't got all the way to Santa. I think the Santa Monica area was under an evacuation order, but I don't know if anything's really burn that much over there.
Gotcha.
But a lot of stuff, like I said, in the Malibu, the Pacific Palisades area, a ton of celebrity homes. I was going through the list of celebrities that have been affected, likes of Tom Hanks I saw, Pratt and what's her face?
Spencer Pratt.
Spencer Pratt
Well,
and
actually,
Montauk.
Spencer Pratt, actually, his parents' home burned down.
Yeah, so
He was.
and just a ton of celebrities and
Paris
people
Hilton.
coming out. Yeah,
Paris Hilton, yep.
like houses just to the ground. There's nothing left.
You know what's crazy
Foundation.
too? Paris Hilton sent a tweet out about, just informing people that her house burned down or whatever, and then they wanted to do something to help out the other people, of course, that are going through it. And it was
Oh, I thought you were going to say she started a GoFundMe to help with her house burn.
made another tape.
Yeah.
But with that said, no, seriously, the comment section, man, it's on a whole nother world. Really, it's a whole world of miserable right now, because I was reading the comment section and people were roasting her, saying like it doesn't count because she has money or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you don't have memories in your own house, like you don't have family, different things like that. I get that we're at a point, we're at odds, the haves, the have-nots.
Right.
But the fact that you have this attitude, with all the people in the comments, whether they're trolling or not, you know how it is. If you start saying a bunch of stuff, eventually you believe it. Eventually you become it sometimes. You're in character. Whether do you think you're a troll? You
Right.
start putting that energy out there. Eventually you become a troll.
Right.
You're a troll in real life. And it's just interesting because most of the comments were so negative, down talking her. For what? For why? Like she can't have feelings. And again, I'm not a big celebrity person, so I don't, but let's take it for face value. That's, the celebrities are people. There's not something deeper to this shit. And, they're just attacking her because they weren't attacking her going, it's a conspiracy with celebrities and what they do to us type shit. It was just, you have enough money. What are you crying about? And then they ignore the fact that she's saying they want to help other people, et cetera. And they just have a real negative energy for people that are suffering. And so I just thought it's a terrible state of where we're at as a society. It's just pushing us further and further and further apart. And people are just miserable. They're not happy with their own lives, so they're not going to be happy with anything else,
Right.
And I think it's weird, like some of these areas that have burned. I mean, you talk about Maui, you talk about the fires up in California in the past.
Yeah.
Now these fires through Malibu. I mean, these are some of like the most prime real estate places in the country.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
And everything's burning up.
Coincidentally, right?
Yeah, coincidentally. And here's the crazy part. The rich, like at the Paris Hiltons of the world, they could rebuild no problem. It's the people that have been living there 50, 60
Oh, they
years.
weed those out.
Right, yeah.
All those people, they can't afford to rebuild in Malibu or Pacific Palisades. They may have had their house there, lived there their whole life. Or some of those homes that are right on the PCH that burned down, some of those people have lived there probably all their lives. And now their house burned down. They don't have fire insurance. And they're not going to be able to rebuild because they don't have the money like that. They probably own the property outright.
Right.
And they couldn't afford the
Still
fire
got to pay.
insurance.
Still got to pay property taxes on that
Yeah,
motherfucker.
and that's the thing. I mean, the
They-
property tax on it's probably more than a mortgage would be for an average.
Can we say this? Because we used New York as an example a few weeks back. A lot of just regular homes in New York, property tax for your 16,000, 20,000. It's the system seems to be designed. Again, you can say by coincidence, or you can say on purpose. But it's definitely, man. It's not good enough just to pick a good area, stay there, be able to somehow afford to live there, and then now you don't even have a house payment. It's like they want to get you out, any way possible. Whether it's let's start taxing you more till you finally cave, or worst case, hey, we'll pull your insurance and then we'll burn your house, so you can't even afford it. That's what it seems like, man.
I mean, that's the sad part because I remember when Maui happened, there was a lot of stories coming out about people that have owned homes in Maui for 50, 60, 70 years.
we're never gonna move.
Yeah,
Never
they
back.
lost their house, and then these people are coming in like, oh, you can't afford to rebuild it. We'll buy it off of you for X amount of dollars. No, it's not going to get the premium that it would have got because everything's burned down. But we're going to give you something.
We're gonna help. We're gonna help you out.
we're gonna help you out.
You can go on with your life.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. It's got some eerie, scary similarities to the Hawaii fires.
And again, one more step further, Northern California, Napa, Santa Rosa. I remember when those fires happened. I got in a few arguments with people back then. When was those fires? Like 2017, probably.
Yeah.
Give or take 18. And I'll just say this: I grew up in the Bay Area. I grew up 10 minutes, literally. Okay, so where I live, Rancho Vallejo, I'd walk one block out from my house, and that'd be the Napa line on one side. We used to call where I live the swamps. Santa Rosa, about a 25-minute drive, right? I used to bounce at a club by Santa Rosa, and I used to hit all the nightclubs out there, and the colleges, or the college, I should say, back in the day, early 90s. With that said, there was never fires in my era, 21 years in Northern California, or 21 years in the Bay Area, Vallejo, and then another 4 in Sacramento. There was never fires to this extreme. There was fires, don't get me wrong. There was brush fires. There was, all this other stuff that goes on, but not to this extreme, not to wiping out that much property in certain areas. And the biggest red flag to me out of all of it, having not experienced it, was seeing the damage, what burned in the fires and what didn't burn in the fires. And all I can say is this. It reminds me, my brain goes to a few different places. It goes to what burned in 9/11. It goes to Paul Walker's Porsche, and what burned, and how supposedly when him and a race car driver hit a corner, they crash, and the car can't be put out by the fire department for an hour. And they couldn't be saved because they were instantly torched. Okay? That doesn't even make sense to me. It goes to the survivors of the Vegas shooting, the family that lived in Temecula, and pull up to their housing complex. The day the FBI sent their phones back, they had them for a week.
Right.
And their daughters are going, getting the phones. They hear a crash in front of the gates. Their parents supposedly crash into the gates and electrocute their car, and the car blows up.
Yeah.
And again, the fire couldn't be put out for over an hour. And of course, the parents who supposedly crashed into the gate to get into their house or their community didn't survive, couldn't be pulled from the wreckage. Doesn't even make sense to me. Now, I'm not trying to be insensitive prick, but that's the narrative. It seems like they painted you in a corner. You can't ask common sense questions anymore. You're an insensitive asshole. Right. What are you suggesting?
But I
what
mean,
are you
a
trying to do?
passport and a military ID can survive a fire that burned,
exactly.
weapons.
Yeah, passport,
weapons.
For more clarity, a passport is conveniently found, in the wreckage of 9/11. So it fell from the plane somehow, or, when the
out of the
plane.
guy's pocket as he burned up.
But no black box ever.
It floated down to the ground, and they just happened to find it.
And then just like the Vegas Tesla, they found a passport, of course, to say, again, it's like the stupidest game of Clue. Colonel Mustard in the den. It's like, we got him. It's like, again, man, that's all I'm going to say is I started really, really thinking about that shit back in the day. And the only other thing I'm going to say about it, and I was arguing with people, they're like, not everything's a conspiracy. And I sit there and I go, I hear you, but not everything's what they tell you either, I'd almost beg to differ that more things are conspiracy than what they tell you.
Right.
Man, it was crazy. I was reading an article today. They were talking about the guy in New Orleans and how he had planted the bombs. And they were saying, and I didn't understand this. They were talking about the article that he used some special type of explosive. And then they were explaining why the bombs didn't go off. And, he should have done this instead of this. And then they would have exploded and caused mass casualty. And I'm reading this article. They're giving the playbook. And like, this guy screwed it up. Hopefully somebody else can figure it out. Blow some shit up. I was reading this. I'm like, why would you even put this in an article? Like, what benefit is it that you say, hey, he screwed up. He made a rookie mistake. He shouldn't try to use some type of detonator that works for like pipe bombs, but the type of explosive needs to have like a blasting cap or something to ignite it. It needs a bigger blast to ignite the bomb, and he didn't use that. And they're like, if he would have done that, then it would have been caused mass casualty. And it's like, and then they're saying, well, maybe the reason he drove his truck through there is because he screwed up on the bombs and they didn't go off. Because he had set those bombs out throughout the whole, they were in like water coolers and stuff. They were supposed to go off when everybody was celebrating New Year's, and they didn't go off because he supposedly screwed up how to detonate them. So then they're speculating that once the timers went off and the bombs didn't blow up and he didn't hear anything about it, that he was like, oh shit, and so he took it into his own hands to drive down there and plow through the crowd.
So
on a night that they did not have the little metal poles.
And here's the other thing. I mean, I've had family and been in big places where like even like my family goes down to
Safeway,
Times Square, like for New Year's and stuff. They check every bag, everything. You can't leave a bag on the ground for more than 2 minutes. Someone's coming up looking at it.
That's in a Netflix movie.
So how is this guy able to plant big ass like water, like those like water jugs that you see on the side of NFL sidelines with explosives and plant them on the side of the road, and no one thinks anything of it? It's like, checks them, tries to figure out what they're doing.
Trying to get a drink?
Yeah, nothing.
Because it sounds good.
And they planted he's supposedly walking in broad daylight with a cooler, wheeling these things and setting them down throughout.
Well, I'm just gonna say
they
this
have him
way.
on video doing so.
I'm gonna say it this way, because we live in a society where people take for face value what we're told. For example, like, we lost the technology to go to the moon.
Yeah.
Like, we lost it. Like, someone just fumbled. I mean, they're looking for a job. They're on the want ads because they lost the technology that got us to the moon and won the space race. You know?
Yeah, and I always see that the moon's like what 200 and something thousand miles away, and like SpaceX goes up like 160 miles, and they're like, oh, and they're celebrating that, and it's like, wait, we suppose they already went over 200,000 miles.
And talked on a corded phone.
How going 160 miles into space are they like all like it's a feat? No, I understand it's private, not government funded, but still, I mean. You would think they'd be like, okay, well, I got, whatever, 1,000th of the way to the moon.
Yeah.
Hey, what am I?
The world we live in on that stuff. But yeah. And one other thing too, I remember because unlike Arizona where we have SRP and what's the other one we have out here?
APS.
APS. Okay. In California, it's basically PG&E, right? Yeah. And I sat there one day because my brain started thinking, like, after these fires, I looked up, who's had some association with PG&E, and again, without getting too detailed, the Rothschilds did.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, and
Going
all,
back to 'em?
and all I'm going to say is this: that what is a family in England doing with a California electric company?
Right.
And that's all I'm going to say. Supposedly they sold out their shares or whatever their influence was.
And okay, so and the last thing to this story is, you mentioned it.
Yeah.
You said they're out of water.
Yeah.
The fire hydrants don't have water.
Oh, that's right too. That's one of the biggest things. The fire hydrants. There's no water.
And the fire hydrant.
Yeah, in the areas that are
Well,
so-
I think.
Holy fuck.
California's always had a water shortage for a long
How
time.
you gonna put out fires without no water?
But here's the thing: when everything's on fire, and you're trying to suck water from every hydrant and put out fires, every house is on fire. There's not that much water going through those pipes to
See, here's my thing.
let everything off.
Okay, but here's my thing. Okay, so I don't know. I don't know if they use the same water. As far as our drinking water, I don't know how. I don't know how that's diverted. My thing is, all you need is the water just to put out fires, right? And go on the fire hydrant. Why wouldn't you be pulling that shit from the ocean? The ocean's fucking right there.
Let's talk about something else. But I want to tell you guys this.
You know what I'm saying?
I just looked up something else because I was looking at the Rothschilds. I just looked up. I'm going to read it right here. Yes, BlackRock is a major shareholder of PG&E Corporation as of September 30th, 2024.
Oh wow! Oh, they just bought it.
Yeah, they just bought it. I wonder if they got insurance for that too.
Oh wow!
BlackRock owned 182.82 million shares of PG&E, which is about 5.3% of the company. And then it says here, other major shareholders of PG&E include the usual suspects: Vanguard Group, FMR LLC, and JP Morgan Chase.
No wow.
Yeah, So again, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, but what I'm getting at, as far as for this is, you have all this water that, I know they say it costs a fortune, to purify the ocean water and fucking.
Well, the California. Okay, so let's bring that. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
I hate getting political. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But the California voted to use their excess water from the mountains, and stuff from the mountains, from the extra, the rain seasons, because it does rain in California. I don't care what Tony said. Right. It definitely rains in Northern California for sure.
Right.
And a lot actually too. But with that said, they had voted in 2010, I believe, to be able to, use the water and figure it out to figure out a system. They voted to pass this to figure out a system to where they could, get the water, use it for, for the people.
Really?
In California, because they just basically let it go float back out to the ocean.
Oh shit! Okay.
So all that water, because it floods in California when it rains.
Okay, got you.
And so, but Gavin, but I guess Governor Newsom, and that's where him and Trump are going back and forth because people are blaming Newsom for not doing anything about it and kind of kind of being almost against it. That Trump was calling them Newscum, whatever, and they had a pretty solid back and forth, and then Newsom and all, he responds, this is what you're going to bring up during these times, when people are going through all this stuff, you're going to attack me. And again, keep in mind too, Newsom is the same guy that told people that there can only be so many people at your house for Thanksgiving during COVID, and it can only be there for 2 hours. You got to wear masks. You can't sing, pray, or chant, whatever he said. And then that dude goes to French Laundry and doesn't have a mask.
Yeah.
Come on.
To answer your question, Paul,
Yeah.
the reason they don't use ocean water is 2 reasons. The salt is super corrosive to like all of the firefighter equipment.
Okay, gotcha.
And then 2, the salt gets into the environment and can basically kill vegetation for years to come.
And they'd rather just do it from their planes.
Yeah.
I got you.
Allegedly.
All right, that makes sense. Because I was like, man, you got all this fucking water there. Scoop that shit. You know what I'm saying?
And I mean, speaking of fires, let's talk about the dumpster fire going on in the political news these
Oh,
days.
my gosh.
Some of the crazy, outlandish shit that they're talking about these days.
Well, okay. So here we go. And like I said, we're going to have some great. Thing about this is going to be great for the next 4 years. Is going to be great for 2 on the 10. We're going to have some great sound bites. So, Canada is, floating around to be the 51st state.
Oh yeah, Canada's supposed to be the 51st state. And what the
great-
Gulf of Mexico is going to be the Gulf of America.
America. In Greenland, we're going to buy Greenland. First of all, we cannot just go in there and buy sovereign nations, first of all.
Well, Greenland's a territory of the Netherlands, I think.
Yes.
So it's not technically they're from what I've heard for a long time, they've been trying to shop it to the highest bidder. So
Kind of like Zion Williams.
yeah, something like that. But
So Greenland doesn't need a
it's
Wendy's.
been an ongoing conversation, which I've never heard of it before. But from what I've read is that it's been an ongoing conversation for a long time because Greenland is very nutrient rich, and also is a strategic military point for if we have to attack,
Go to the Arctic.
go to war with Russia or China or anything. It's a good jumping off point. We have like one of our largest off America bases in Greenland apparently. So
But here's a crazy thing. Going back to Canada, that is a country. That's a straight up country. And we just had the Prime Minister of Canada, Trudeau just stepped down. I think he just didn't want to go through this shit.
He's a weirdo.
But he was gonna. Here's the thing: is he was gonna be made to look like a fool anyway. So
I think he did a good job of that on his own personally.
he was gonna. But that's what I'm saying.
lockdowns.
It was gonna be. He was going down anyway. He was gonna regardless if he was gonna go down the slow route or the long route. And so he just said, I don't think he just didn't want to be dragged through the mud and said, "Fuck this, let somebody else deal with it." Here's the thing: we're gonna get all these kind of sound bites. I think you said it earlier. Mitch, it's for show. These are all like fucking showman type. I tell anybody that fucking knows me. I tell you, Trump is one of the greatest fucking showmans that this world probably will ever know. This dude knows how to put on a show. He knows he's a production king. You saw what he did for what was that? What was that show that was on there when you're fired? The Apprentice, something like that. He knows how to get people looking at him, something like that. And for him to say, outline this shit, we're not going to Canada's not going to become the 51st state. Greenland, I don't know how that shake. Maybe we fucking throw enough money out on Greenland.
Here's the thing though.
But
I don't believe it.
But the Gulf of, going from the Gulf of America, Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. Okay, so we change the name. It's people still gonna call it the Gulf of Mexico. It just
I don't know, bro, because people call Bruce Jenner Caitlyn Jenner.
I still call him. You try to set me up here. You try to set me up
I'm just
here.
saying,
Because I still call him. Yeah, okay. But that's here's my thing. It just I think sometimes you got to take it what it is. I think it's great sound bites. I think, like I said, I think we're going to get great sound bites. I don't, he's going after the Panama Canal. It's just a lot of things that we would have to do that It would be fucking unnecessary to do.
I don't take any of this shit literal. I think it's all part of a script. It's all WWE. It's all Vince McMahon.
Yeah, like
and
I said.
I'll take it one step further. Did you guys see, rest in peace, regardless of how I feel about the authority and everything, but rest in peace to Jimmy Carter. If there was probably a decent president, it seemed like it would be him, but I also heard that he was over at, what's it called? I can't even think of it right now, the Russian River celebrations where they were, back in the day, the Bohemian Groves. I heard he actually made it too, but who knows?
Yeah, and I heard after, but the one thing I will say about him is after his presidency, he did go into philanthropy.
Oh yeah, and
a lot of
building
stuff,
homes.
Building homes.
Yeah, no, definitely. So he put his money where his mouth is, literally, and actually put, definitely, physically worked. I mean, all the way to his death to help other people. So I mean, you gotta love that, considering what you see. But with that said, did you see, everybody at his funeral, right? Do you see who sat next to each other and were chummy?
No.
Did you?
No.
Obama and Trump.
Oh, Obama and Trump?
Interesting.
Yeah. And so it's just pretty interesting, man, to see them sit there and just jab and smile and joke and be chill. So
It's all a show. It's just like you said, like WWE.
Yeah.
I'm going to kill you. And then they go backstage and, hey, you want to go to dinner later? All right, I'll see you later.
Yeah, but that's what I'm getting at. I think a lot of this is a bunch of sound bites. That's what I'm saying. It's like it's kind of like shock and awe. I'm gonna shock you this week, and we live in a 24-hour news cycle. You know what I'm saying? We're talking. It kind of funny. We're joking and talking about it this week. Next week is going to be something else. We could be talking about how Germany. We're thinking about buying Germany or some shit. I don't know, just making up some shit. But what I'm trying to get at is I take the shit with a grain of salt. It's like, it's newsworthy, but it'll be here and gone tomorrow. And some of the stuff is real, and some of the stuff is
that's how I take the elections.
yeah.
It's just, I think in the end of the day, we're going to go through these next 4 years. Nothing's really going to change, but everybody's going to be up in arms on every little thing that
There's
he
gonna be a lot.
says or does.
There's gonna be a lot that's gonna change.
Well, I mean, yeah, but it's not going to be. I mean, it's going to be the powers that be.
Yeah, it's already
the back. It's not going to be like. It's going to be people that we don't even know about that are making the changes, like you said, to maybe a global currency or digital currency. Get rid of the dollar. Those types of things. They're going to. I think you already see it happening. I mean, you already see Bitcoin is dropping. And they're talking about, it's going to go. People are talking about it's going to go to zero and this and that, and it's flawed and all this stuff. And I even read that with supercomputers, within the next 20 years they'll be able to crack the encryption on Bitcoin. So basically, Bitcoin's worthless because of it.
Yeah. So here's my thing.
but the dollar's worthless, and
But
they
they're
make it whatever
they're
they
gonna
make.
scare everybody, and what's gonna happen is maybe the price goes way down, and then they buy it all up, and then they're in control.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I'm fucking just hoping we make it 4 years. I'm gonna tell you why. Because I mean, we talked a little bit about it, in agreement. We talked about, Ukraine just fucking launched missiles into fucking Russia. Russia's talking about retaliating with, tactical nukes.
And North Koreans are fighting the war now for Russia.
Here's my thing.
that was kinda
They
crazy.
use nuclear weapons, then what? Does NATO get involved? If NATO gets involved, that means we got to get involved. You know what I'm saying? So it's all the shit. You want to talk about a tinderbox is, we're sitting on a teeter-totter of stuff. So, yeah, we laugh and we joke about these little sound bites, but real stuff is going on out in the world that, like I think we discussed it on the last show. Like, if with the alien invasions and all this shit, I'm like this. Let's get on with it. Why we fucking around? You know what I'm saying? Why we teasing this shit? You know what I'm saying? If this shit's real, let's rock and roll. Let's do this. So I can get on and have this, this party, this end of the world party that I've been talking about. But nah, man, it's just like I said. It just it's just crazy. So the world itself is crazy.
Speaking of crazy, I know we got a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Thoughts of the day.
Yeah.
Speaking of crazy, I just wanted to real quick jump in and share my experience. I showed you guys in the green room.
Yeah.
So, literally 2 days ago, woke up. First of all, I'm a firm believer after years and years, always having your TV on, right? Mm-hmm. When you sleep. And my girl now has to do it, or whatever. But I was, I used to be that person, had to have the TV on. Now, For years, I'd get so much peace and sleep when I wouldn't turn the TV on. But back in the day when I'd wake up, I'd wake up at 1:30, 3 o'clock, 3:30, and there'd always be some crazy shit that you weren't even prepared for.
Right.
You know, I remember one time watching this, and I obviously it's still in the back of my brain. I remember watching some snuff film movie, you know, like or some Hostel movie or something else, and movies that I would never see again. I don't even know what they were, but they're on. And you don't even know where your remote is.
Right.
You know, it's dark as shit, and you're like, fuck, I'm just going to sit here. And you end up watching the whole rest of the bullshit.
Right.
What's even worse than that is when you're consciously sleeping and the shit programs you.
Right.
You know, you listen to all these evil thoughts, this bad energy, this bad vibration shit.
Right.
And you're sleeping, and you're in your REM sleep, let's say.
Right.
And now all of a sudden, you know, could that be programmed? I've always thought that shit. Well, anyway, I had an experience 2 nights ago. We were watching Netflix, so I don't know how it switches after so Netflix is done, it shows you all those previews and then it just kicks it off. You know, we're on so many streaming sites. All I know is I woke up and it was 2 o'clock and the TV just starts talking and it's a robot voice. Countdown in 5, 4, 3, 2. And then all of a sudden, like the old school TVs, you know, whatever starts doing that shit, except, you guys seen the shit? There's like 10 different things going on the screen at once. You know, there's like some of that red, yellow, green, lines. But then there's countdowns, there's numbers. There's something that said stress test, 1000 MHz stress test. And then the creepiest shit of all of it, in the right bottom corner, there's a smiley emoji, smiley face, and a box going over his head, spinning around and round and round and round. What the, and I videotaped it. I woke up going, what the fuck, hold on. No one's going to even believe this shit. I can't even explain it.
Right.
So I go, I got to tape this. And the first thing I realized when I tape this shit is, I ain't going to sit this on my phone and just have it sit there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I sent it out to like 50 different people. All you motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I posted it on TikTok. I posted it on Facebook. I posted it on IG.
Yeah.
I want to make sure
You
everybody.
know what channel your TV was on?
Mitch
You
is
know
out
what
there getting
channel?
everybody programmed right there. Like, if I'm going down, everybody
You
going
like
down.
pop out the remote to see what actual channel or what
I didn't. And you know what's crazy? Let me just tell you this. I got more responses from people than I've ever fucking got on anything. People most of them just that shocked face. A couple people, fuck. I mean, I actually remember, fuck, let me see if I can,
Here's the
I
thing.
said a lot of shit to people.
Here's the thing. I go to sleep. I go to sleep through white noise and black screen. Shameless plug. I do have a channel. You want to check it out? It's called Dream Tonescapes, and it's relaxing music on there that you meditation music on there. On black screen with white noise and stuff like that. Because that's what I go to sleep to every night.
That's smart unless they get a hold of that shit too. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying if it's just the world we live in, I don't put anything past anybody. Just like, there's evil in the church in the bottom of the Vatican type shit, like it seems like, at least allegedly, or whatever. Or I watched that Tom Hanks movie or something, But with that said, this shit, like I have people going, bro, they're programming, they're programming us, they're programming you, shit like that.
Hey, well, here's the thing. I'm listen. You talk about a lot of stuff. A lot of shit goes in. I tell you all the time. Be careful. Then,
No, of course.
A lot of stuff you talk about on your phone. A lot of stuff you talk about on here. A lot of stuff you talk out in public.
Allegedly.
Allegedly,
The thoughts Mitch expresses are that of his own and not of the other members of the 2 of 10 podcast.
I'm just.
So if you're listening,
I'm
don't come to my house.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. What's this? Okay, this motherfucker. He's breaking out of the. He's breaking out of the matrix. We need to. We need to.
Or they need to do what they do to Alex Jones, control them.
Yeah, or we need. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Or we
Controlled opposition.
Yeah, I heard they're going to take over the 2 of the 10 podcast and sell it for
Get more ratings.
Sell it for scraps.
Hey, 2 of the 10 is now owned by BlackRock.
But no, I'm being.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Nick popped that shit out. I was like, hey, close that shit, bro. You got my mind already fucked up.
Yeah, yeah. But you guys saw it.
Yeah.
Was it weird? Was it weird as fuck?
No, definitely.
Noise,
And that was,
just that high pitched.
Yeah.
and it wasn't a TV show or nothing. It was just,
No.
it was just on the TV.
What happened? Did it just end and then something else came on, or?
Fuck. What's crazy? I don't even fucking remember.
Look, that's the crazy thing. He don't fucking even remember the shit.
I don't remember.
Maybe it really didn't happen. Maybe you
Well, that's why I took the video.
videotaped your dream.
Trust me.
No. What I'm saying is he don't remember that shit.
All I gotta say is, man, the creepiest thing was that smiley face in the corner, bro. Like, what the fuck is that shit? Like, that's just crazy.
Hey, wait, I want to ask you: have you guys seen that mentalist guy that's been like going around to like the NFL teams that like he like figures out
yeah,
the pin codes?
Yeah, and all their crazy shit.
I want to know how he does that. So I was listening to Howard Stern, and he did this thing where he had the two guys lock arms, and they blindfolded the one guy, and then he was touching the other guy, like, and then he was asking the blindfolded guy, "Am I touching you?" And he's like, "Yeah, you're rubbing my shoulder," and he would be rubbing the other guy's shoulder, and then like 3 different things, and then he took a piece of paper and he was just rubbing it underneath the guy's neck, and the other guy's like kept going like this, and he's like, "Am I touching you?" He's like, "Yeah, you're like tickling under my neck." But he wasn't. He was touching the other guy, but they were just locked arms.
What?
I'm like, how the hell do they do that? And I don't know. I keep thinking like the other guy's in on it, but supposedly like both people are like shocked, and it's just like random. He could do it to like random people.
Like I said, I've witnessed shit.
That mentalist shit. I don't know. That's
I've
crazy.
witnessed shit. Capo's in Las Vegas. There was a magician, and the magician again literally wrote some shit on his hand. Went over to my friend and goes, "Hey," and they had their fist, bald fist. Puts his hand on the fist, whatever. Goes, "Open your hand," and then what he had written in his hand was on her fist.
No.
Inside of her palm. Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen some.
And I seen that, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I asked the employees, like, hold on, bro, how the fuck do you do that? Come on, you got to let me know. Bro, we sit here and just shake our head. We don't have any fucking clue. I seen that firsthand up close.
Like what? Only thing I would say is, did she touch something?
No. It was just make a fist.
No. From
Oh.
earlier in the night when you first come in,
Yeah.
like someone shook her hand.
But
she
how would he
touched
know what
something.
word she was going to write down?
No. What I'm saying is transfer.
I mean, here's the thing.
It's a
If that's what it takes to go that far, and then to go to a table and know where they're going to sit and stuff later,
Yeah.
that's great. That's a lot of work. And I don't even know how that could even. I don't know. I don't even know how that can come.
because if it would have happened to me, I would have thought about it the whole night. I was like, okay,
Oh, we did.
did I
definitely
touch something? Did somebody shake my hand? If somebody even shook my hand or anything before I went in there, you know, I would have never-
I mean, they
I know
use
the gig
like
was up.
some of the NFL ones. You see some of the stuff he does with the NFL guys, like
Oh, yeah.
where he's like,
The shit he did with Joe
take the
Burrow.
football and throw it to anybody in the whole team. And he writes something down. Joe Burrow throws it. He flips it over. The guy's name that he threw it to,
What's that guy's name again?
Oz. And then there was one. He's like, he fakes the throw to one guy and throws it to another guy, and that's exactly what he wrote on the thing. I was like, Joe Burrow's either got to be in on this, or this guy's just unbelievable. And then the other one, he was on Howard Stern. Howard Stern had interviewed some lady that was dying of brain cancer. It was like some celebrity or something, or some type of cancer. And Howard was like talking about being able to talk to the dead. And he's like, all right,
Because-
give me a word before you die that only me and you will know. And Howard's like, I've never told anybody this word. And the guy was able to figure it out.
Let me just say this. Remember, I told you something I heard was a rumor about magicians, right?
What's that?
I just looked it up right now. Yes, Oz the magician, whose real name is Oz Perlman, is Jewish.
Interesting. Yeah, a lot of magicians are.
Every major magician.
They got the Israelite blood in them.
They got something, but
They
that
figured- hey,
Oz,
speaking of magicians,
that Oz guy is amazing.
hey,
though.
speaking of magicians, how did that group, without having a private company, be able to run a military power like the United States and then basically control them without even having gold back in a piece of paper?
That's another topic in itself. But all right, man, we come to the end of the show. Greedy, give me a thought of the day, man.
And my thought of the day with the fires and stuff going on and just craziness around the world, make sure you have a game plan. I know we've talked about it in the past on the show. If shit goes down, have a family plan. You know, let your family know if shit goes down, where to meet, what to do, and have, you know, some resources saved up to protect you and your family in case you ever need to.
There you go.
I'm going to actually bandwagon on that because I was actually thinking of something similar. Make sure you're prepared as best as possible. I know it's tough. Nobody wants to sit there and just make a whole prep list and go out and knock it out in one day. It'd be too expensive, too time consuming. But start knocking it down in order of importance. Go over whoever your loved ones are. Imagine if shit went down and you couldn't meet back up with your loved one. If the grid went down, picture the worst scenario and be prepared for it. Right. I'm starting to look into, for example, I guess they have those Nextel chirps, like walkie-talkies again, and I guess they're unlimited distance. It's like I know we were talking about maybe getting Chris's mom one because she lives over in Phoenix. You know, I mean, if shit goes down, how are you going to know I mean, picture that scenario for 1 second. I'm not trying to be doom or gloom or scare anybody, but I just want you guys to be prepared. If the shit ever went down and the grid stopped, you will not know how your loved one's doing, maybe ever. You know, I mean, and wrap your head around that for a second. And if that maybe motivates you to figure out a couple things, have a meeting spot, have some signals. Again, I don't know how good these, but supposedly they don't rely on, Wi-Fi, and they don't rely on, I'm not, on a phone line. So again,
Well, one other thing on that, Mitch, with the AI technology and them being able to fake voices and mimic.
True.
The other thing that a lot of families are saying to do now is have a code word for your family that you don't give out to anybody else, so that if there's a situation where someone's using AI to try to mimic and say, "Oh, your child's been kidnapped," and they're be like, "What's the code word?" And if they don't know it or don't have it, then you know that it's fake. Because now over the phone, especially, you can't tell an AI voice from a real voice.
Right.
They sound identical. So you gotta be prepared. And if, there's scams where they'll find out that people are going to Mexico, and then they'll call their family and be like, "We have your child, or we have your family.
come up with the money, yeah.
If you don't come up with the money, we're gonna kill them." And they'll have like even someone in the background crying, or they can use the AI to mimic the voice. And families have paid ransoms, and then 2 days later the kid shows up like, "Man, I was just partying in Mexico for the weekend."
Right.
And like they know that shit, and they're like, but so you could get scammed or robbed or worse. So if come up with a family code word that only you and your family know, just in case some shit goes down. You got to make sure that the person you're talking to on the other end is really truly the person you're talking to.
I'm gonna say this. Let's call it the 3 Ps. 3P system. Start prepping, practicing, and praying. Prepping, practicing, and praying. For to be prepared. 4 Ps to be prepared for these situations.
All right. Here's my thought of the day, man. Like I said, 2025 already started off on, a crazy note. Man, here's my thing. Get out there and do your thing. Be yourself. My whole thing is, if you're not hurting anybody, who gives a fuck what people think? Just do you, man. Because, listen, tomorrow definitely ain't promised. Down the road definitely ain't promised. So get out there, stop wasting time, and stop worried about what other folks do, and just do you.
Quit being a Rudy Poo.
All right, we out on that note. 2 on 10.